Hey, so we have an update on the $5,000 DOGE dividend check, which some people have been calling a stimulus check, and there's a lot to clear up. Since our last video, the conversation around this has only gotten bigger, with more details emerging about how this refund would work, who would qualify, and whether it even has a shot at happening. Some of you have been asking, is this real, or is it just another promise that's never going to happen? Today, we're breaking down everything we know so far, including what's changed, what's still uncertain, and what to watch out for. Before we jump in, if you want to stay updated on everything happening with the DOGE dividend, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new developments. All right, let's get into it. The DOGE dividend check proposal comes from James Fishback, CEO of Eoria, and is backed by Elon Musk. The idea is to return government savings to taxpayers through a one-time refund of $5,000 per eligible recipient. Unlike previous stimulus checks, which were funded through new government spending, this proposal claims to be based entirely on cost-cutting, reducing wasteful government spending and passing the savings back to taxpayers. Now, this has gained attention not just because of Musk's involvement, but also because President Trump has expressed interest in the plan, calling it a potential way to rebuild trust in government spending. But before we get too far ahead, let's talk about how this is supposed to work and whether it actually can. So originally, the DOGE initiative set a goal to cut $2 trillion in government spending, with 20% of those savings, potentially $400 billion, going directly to taxpayers. But here's the first big update. Musk has since walked that back, saying that a more realistic target might be $1 trillion in savings. That means the amount available for refunds could be lower than originally expected. And as for how much has been saved so far, DOGE claims they've identified $115 billion in budget cuts, grant eliminations, and downsizing government programs. However, fact-checkers have raised concerns that some of these numbers may be inflated, with some of the so-called cuts actually being pre-existing terminations or funds that were already spent. So while DOGE says taxpayers have already saved money from these efforts, independent verification of the actual impact is still lacking. Now, let's talk eligibility, because this has been a major point of discussion. Early on, there was speculation that only people earning at least $40,000 per year would qualify, but Fishback has since debunked that. The current proposal includes Social Security recipients, Veterans Affairs beneficiaries, and anyone who files a federal income tax return. That's a significant update because it means retirees and veterans, who are often left out of previous stimulus payments, would be included this time. The proposal also introduces some additional incentives, like tax exemptions on overtime pay and tips, aimed at boosting workforce participation. But here's the real challenge. Even if the savings were real, and even if the checks could be funded, Congress still has to approve it. And that's where things get complicated. House Speaker Mike Johnson and other fiscal conservatives have voiced opposition, arguing that any government savings should go toward paying down the national debt rather than issuing direct payments to taxpayers. Some lawmakers, like Representative Celeste Malloy and Representative Riley Moore, have also raised concerns about potential inflation, warning that putting billions of dollars into the economy could drive up prices, even if this isn't technically new spending. Also, supporters argue that this is different from past stimulus programs. Fishback says that because this is a tax refund, not a new government expense, it wouldn't have the same inflationary impact. They also claim that many Americans would use the money to pay down debt, which could reduce the risk of inflation. But here's the thing. There's no major polling data to back that up yet, so we don't really know for sure how people would spend the money. So what's next? Fishback and his team have been meeting with lawmakers in Washington, D.C., trying to build support for the DOGE dividend. However, as of now, no official bill has been introduced in Congress, and there's no confirmed timeline for when or if that will happen. While some reports suggested the plan could be part of a future reconciliation package, there's currently no concrete evidence that it's being considered for one. And that brings us to the big question. Will this actually happen? Right now, the DOGE dividend is still just a proposal. It's gained some high-profile supporters, but it still has a long way to go before becoming a reality. Until there's an actual bill confirmed savings, and congressional approval, this isn't something you can count on just yet. But what do you think? Should the government prioritize giving refunds to taxpayers, or should they focus on reducing the debt? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.